So we're starting on page 344, and now we're giving a different name to this rate of change called slope. It is the rise over run. There's nothing in this book that's written this big that's not critically important. Every time they do this, it is a really important big idea. This one's not going away. I'm going to ask you again today about the rate of change, but I'm probably going to say, what's the slope? The good news is the answer is the same. It's still the change in y over the change in x. That has to be in your brain now and forever, because you're going to continue to talk about functions not only in algebra class, but in your science classes. Because remember, there's so much connection between science and math because you use data in science and you use that to make predictions. That's what we're doing now as 8th graders. We're taking these ideas and using our math knowledge to be able to predict things that might happen. We'll do that this spring when we talk about our salmon release data. We're going to use these exact things with some real life situations, because that's what math is for. It's for using it in your life, whether that's making your budget or trying to find ways to cut costs on your insurance, or whether that's trying to predict how much money you're going to need to save up for something, or how long it will take for you to save up for something, or to make an informed decision about things. Using data is why you have a math class. It's so that you can use it to do other things. It's not so you can sit at home and do math worksheets. It really isn't. Okay? And so that's why everything in this chapter has labels on it, because now we've finally gotten to the point where we have enough skills that we can combine them all to talk about real life problems. All right? And so today, what's going to happen is we're going to continue to find the rate of change, but now it has this new name. Rate of change and slope are synonymous. They mean the same thing. If I am on my treadmill and I want to find the slope of my treadmill, let me tell you, the higher that sucker goes, the more work it is. Okay, and I hate treadmill running, but it gets really hard really fast. It's always going to be the rise, if it goes up 10 inches, over the run, how much it goes over. Notice it's making a 90-degree angle. That's going to become important soon. Okay? Could I have a number less than 1? Why, most certainly I could. If it's going up, it's positive. If it's going down, it has to be negative, because the change would go, like on our warm-up today, this change went from 80 down to 70. If you're a person who has to do the math, I kind of hope that you can just look at the graph and be like, oh, it's going down 10, right? If not, it's the second number, take away the first number, which makes it negative. We always, always read left to right for the x's. That will always be positive. Always. You will have to be able to find the slope using both tables and graphs. Remember, in this chapter, it's can I do tables, graphs, equations, and verbal descriptions and see how they're all connected. So we did a little bit of that in chapter 5. That's the main focus. It's can I make equations and see the connections from any form. You have to pick points that are on the graphed line. I cannot pick this point 6,1 over here and get the right answer. You have to pick points. What I wouldn't do is I wouldn't pick like 1.5 and 2.5. I'm always going to try to look for where it goes through the crosshairs so that the math is easier. We always want to be efficient. Okay? And so because it goes through the crosshairs here and here, it's going up from 4 to 6 by 2. It's going over from 2 to 3 by 1. It's already in lowest terms. If I have a table, my x value is going up by 2, my y value is going down by 3, it's still the change in y over the change in x, always, always. If they make you graph it, which they're going to a little bit today, we know how to do tables and graphs. We know how to take a graph and make a table. Now we're doing one more step. Can I find the slope? The slope is what? The slope is the... Oh, this is the word that I did say everybody had to know. Slope is the, everybody, the...
Change in y over change.
That was not very convincing. The slope is the...
Change in y over the change in x.
You have to write it on your paper every single time today. Eventually, I won't force you to write change in y over change in x. My expectation is that you will write, and you can use the shortened version, the delta y over the delta x. You have to write it on your paper every single time. Why am I going to make you do that? I am forcing you to memorize it, absolutely, and that's why your ticket out the door. And you need to know, anytime I do something that's a ticket out the door, like rate of change or slope, means there are multiple points for the next test and or the next quiz. I am not going to make sure everybody says it out loud unless it is critically important. So make sure that if I say rate of change, you know it's the change in y over the change in x, because that was yesterday's word. Today's word is slope. The good news is you just have to remember what you did yesterday. You just have to make sure you know they mean the same thing, because I'm going to ask for both. What questions do you have?